Glory be to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Good morning to you, dear brothers and sisters on the African continent. Bob the Mechanic on this very morning, Monday, the 26th of May, year 2025. We give thanks and praise to our Heavenly Father, His loving kindness. We are still hopeful, we are still strategizing, and we know that by His grace all our mental faculties will be turned into tangibility. Brothers and sisters, as always, Bob the Mechanic right this morning at your screen with a continued reminding of our demanding of the unconditional release of all political prisoners being held in the dungeons of Dictator Yoweri Museveni, the people of Africa. This is our continued effort. We are unceasingly demanding that Mr. Museveni must release all those political prisoners without any condition placed upon them. So brothers and sisters, Bob the Mechanic right at your screen this very moment. Brothers and sisters, philosophically speaking, there is a German philosopher by the names of Friedrich Nietzsche who philosophized by saying that to live is to suffer, and to survive is to find a meaning in the suffer, right? That philosophical thought, it is applicable at this juncture, fellow Ugandans, you understand, given the predicament of Dictator Yoweri Museveni. So by deploying such philosophical thoughts, we are rejuvenating our minds, and we know what exactly to be done right now at this moment. Brothers and sisters, we are at a critical juncture whereby Mr. Museveni and all his sycophants are busy concocting all sorts of trumped charges, to drop them on these, Ugandans who are geared up to usher in a new leadership which must adhere to the rule of law. So brothers and sisters, removing Museveni, it is a meaningful suffer of which we are to embrace. Brothers and sisters, removing Dictator Yoweri Museveni is a meaningful suffer. It is a meaningful suffer. So to your attention, Father, we bring the continued efforts of Mr. Museveni to bring all sorts of false narratives before international community so that he can cling on to power well justified. You have seen that they have passed laws which are meant to protect Mr. Museveni in that stolen presidency. You remember, we outvoted him in 2021 and he clinged on to power. So the more he clings on to power, the more he is forced to kill people, especially the voices of young Ugandans who are saying that Mr. Museveni, you are not leading us, but you are lulling us like animals, of which it is unacceptable in this generation, the 21st century. You cannot rule over us. We are supposed to be led, not to be ruled over. So these young men and women are giving Mr. Museveni a sleepless night, much as he gives us a sleepless night. That's the reason we wake up early in the morning, and we have to say something in our continued effort to mobilize, to demystify all the lies Museveni had managed to feed into the mindset of men and women who occupy offices in these respective bodies which are meant to oversee the well-being of humanity. Namely, the African Union, the Pan-African Parliament, United Nations, European Union, and the leadership of United States and the leadership of United Kingdom. So we come to you to inform you that according to the trustable information and credible intelligence brought to us by teacher Kajubiru Mbuye Fred, a devoted Ugandan whose devotion serves to thwart Mr. Museveni plots against Ugandans, indicates that Mr. Museveni and all his men, they decided that within this week, they are going to attack the people of Kasese in the mountain regions of western Uganda. To say that it is ADF attacking the people of Kasese. But in real sense, it is Mr. Museveni who is going to unleash this, who is about to unleash this madness solely to cling on to power, to get a justification to continue abducting NUP members. So he is willing to kill as much as he can the people of Kasese, as he has been doing. We all remember all the sagas that have happened there, the atrocities that have been meted upon the people of western Uganda. So he is willing to do that. Now, after staging an attack on the people of Kasese, purporting that it is ADF. Remember, global citizens, ADF, it is Museveni's, faction of militants, which is there solely to keep Uganda destabilized, or Western Uganda destabilized. This is a group of people facilitated by Mr. Museveni, and it is well facilitated by the UPDF, controlled by Muhanga Kahanga. That is Museveni's son-in-law, brother-in-law. Yes, Museveni's brother-in-law, Muhanga Kahanga. Now, this ADF, Museveni, he is now trying to attack the people, to kill some people, and his mainstream media, they are going to start showing the international community, most especially African continent, that there is a rebel group known as ADF has started attacking the government of Uganda. There is no such a thing as a rebel group in Uganda. All those rebel factions are controlled by Museveni. All the militias you hear in Uganda, they were created solely to destabilize the region. It is well facilitated by Museveni. Now, the information indicates that after those attacks, which are in the pipeline right now, maybe they have done it already throughout the night. Now, Mr. Museveni, he is planning to lift all gunships or fighter jets to go and start bombing the people of Kasese, right? So that is the reason why I have tagged African Union, why I have tagged the Pan-African Parliament, why I have tagged in this live the Vatican News. You understand? So for us Africans, we are a faithful people, and we follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, who told us that only the truth will free humanity from the bondage. Now, in order for us to free ourselves from bondage of dictatorship, that is Mr. Museveni, it is to speak the truth candidly before global citizens. By attaching these bodies respectively, we are bringing our complaints to their attention unhindered, because we have no access to those offices physically. So by means of social media, our message is well propagated. So Vatican News and the Holy Pope, may the loving kindness of our Heavenly Father be with you all the time. We received a message of dissatisfaction coming from you, and it was directed to Washington, D.C., to Mr. Donald Baptist Trump, that the continued subjugation and the persecution of the people of Palestine, it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable because humanity is the same, whether it is in a white flesh or in a dark flesh. Humanity is the same. So dear Pope Leo the 14th, we appreciated that message. But me tagging the Vatican News in this live of mine, it is to bring it to your attention that much as you are castigating Mr. Trump's actions towards the people of Palestine, there is an ongoing ethnic cleansing in Uganda being facilitated, supervised, and perpetuated by Mr. Yoweri Museveni Kaguta. This was a former refugee whose family fled Rwanda and came to Uganda, where they were embraced and hospitality was provided to them. Oh, dear Pope Leo the 14th, my complaints before the Holy See, it is justly, and I am sending it to you candidly, oh, the Holy See, through Vatican News. It is the website that I've tagged in this live. Oh, Pope Leo the 14th, you have to be more candid as you did towards Washington, D.C. with regards to the subjugation of the people of Palestine. This is the Museveni. You applauded the government of the People's Republic of China for delivering humanitarian aid by means of air. We are not waiting to reach to that extent of the people of China to start providing humanitarian relief. We have a saying in our proverbs as Baganda that okugema kusinga okuwonya, meaning that prevention is better than cure. So in our advocacy and bringing to your attention things of that nature, we are trying to curb and prevent the likely carnage which is about to occur. Mr. Museveni is orchestrating a mass-scale killing of innocent Ugandan, as he has been doing on a large scale, clandestinely. Now that we have social media in our midst, most of his despicable deeds are being aired out by us, the people of Uganda, whom he tries so much to brand as terrorists before the international community. Pope, we are not terrorists. Pope, we are not violators of human rights. Oh, dear Pope, we are people who respects humanity because we are products of the Most High Lord God Father. So, Mr. Museveni, he is to be held accountable for all the things he has been doing, for all the things he continues to do against the people of Uganda. Global citizens, the man we are complaining against, he is not a national of Uganda. He was a refugee and he acquired citizenship. Thus, he is a citizen of Uganda and we never discriminated against him. So, Vatican, say something about this man as you said something against Mr. Donald Trump in his continued facilitation of the subjugation of the people of Palestine. We are advocating for the same candid voice, singling out Mr. Museveni and Mr. Kagame respectively. These are the men who are perpetuating the mass killing of innocent Ugandans in East Africa and Central Africa as a whole. Global citizens, we are saying that Museveni, he is passing unjust laws to get a justification and the legal means to kill Ugandans. As we speak right now, there is no Ugandan person who is accused of any crime is eligible to get a bail or a police bond as we speak right now. Which country is that? Do we think civilization, it is going forward or it is in reverse in Uganda? Oh, dear Pope, Mr. Museveni, he is using science to disintegrate the society of God. Mr. Museveni has made it a priority to coerce religious people so that they can serve his dictates, they can serve his interests. Dear Pope, we count a lot of charismen, belongings to the Catholic fraternity, whose mysterious demise is still in question. They die of cardiac arrest. They die of blood clot. That is the postmortem that comes out. They die mysteriously before us. And we know those who die are the people who come out to speak against the injustice, to speak against the continued injustice of killing Ugandans. Those are the people who are being killed. Those are the people who die mysteriously. Those are the people whose demise it is not fathomable to us. Dear Pope, the candid message which was delivered to Washington, D.C., it is the same message that must be delivered in Kampala, Uganda. Dear Pope, before you assumed the Holy See, we received a message that Pope Francis sent a message to Dictator Museveni in a diplomatic manner. But to us, Mr. Museveni, he is just a clique of people using guns to fasten themselves into a precedence which does not belong to him. So the guns it is the mechanism that is meant to silence the people. Dear Pope, some of Museveni's indoctrinated charismen, they go on the altar well strapped with 9mm in their waists, well covered with the gowns of worship. Dear Pope Leo the 14th, we are submitting our complaints before you. We are submitting our complaints before you. Dear Pope, we get sleepless nights because our brothers and sisters are being killed on a large scale. These dictators, two of them belonging to an ethnic group known as Rwandese. Dear Pope, we are not trying to separate people based on their ethnicity, but there is an ethnicity in East Africa which is trying to subjugate the rest of ethnicities, to which we cannot accept. The Holy See, we cannot accept to be subjugated by one ethnicity group, and it's not the entire ethnic group. It is a clique of people belonging to that ethnicity, right? This is a clique of people that is tormenting East Africa and Central Africa as a whole. It is a clique of people belonging to one ethnic group, that is the Tutsi people, and their origin is Rwanda. We are delivering this message to the Holy See such that we can prevent the genocides that took place. Needless to mention who were behind those genocides. Vatican City, we are Christians. We are followers of Jesus Christ by the leadership of the Catholic Church. We are bringing this to you because Mr. Museveni and Mr. Kagame gained popularity because they had successfully duped the international community that their ethnicity, the Tutsi people, were massacred as a result of oppression and segregation. Little did they know that these very people decided to massacre their own ethnic group solely to capture the attention of the international community. They successfully did that, okay? To the extent that Pope Francis went and washed Mr. Paulo Kagame's feet, purporting that the church did not say something when the people of Rwanda were being massacred. In a church, mind you, Pope Leo the 14th. Now, for us, we don't need to go to that extent because what Museveni is planning, all the laws that Museveni is passing, they are bringing into a genocide in Uganda. They are intended to bring a genocide in Uganda. Pope Leo the 14th, Museveni passed a law decreeing that no man should wear a beret and walk on the streets of Kampala. That no man should wear any black shoe similar to a military shoe. That no man should wear an overall, whether he's a mechanic. Pope Leo the 14th, I am a mechanic by professional, not professional as a bush mechanic, right? And my cloth of work, those are overalls, right? Now, Museveni decreed that whoever is found wearing an overall, he is to be in jail. And remember, he first abolished the bail and the police bond, meaning that whoever is caught, he is to be in the dungeon. Pope Leo the 14th. In Uganda, the capacity of our police or our prisons, respect the entire country, it is 22,000 persons. As we speak right now, 150 souls are being incarcerated. You can imagine the overcrowding of those individuals. And there is no bail and there is no police bond, meaning that this is a concentration camp. Pope Leo the 14th. We all remember vividly the actions that led to the Holocaust of the Jewish people. The Holocaust that led to the Jewish people. We remember each and everything. These are the same scenarios that are unfolding right now. Mr. Museveni massacred millions of Ugandans during the war that led him into the capturing of the political institutions of the Republic of Uganda 40 years ago. African Union, you are being quiet when the people of Uganda are complaining against Mr. Museveni. African Union, you are still quiet. Mr. Museveni, he wants to say that National Unity Platform, it is affiliated with the militias and that they want to take over his government by means of military confrontation, which is a lie. That is a false narrative being driven by Museveni, as he has been doing for the past 40 years. He managed to capture the attention of the Americans. Museveni was established by the administration of the then President of the United States, Mr. Bill Clinton, and the then administration led by Mr. Tony Blair of United Kingdom. That is when Mr. Museveni was fastened into the presidency of Uganda. We don't know what kind of agreements, and in those agreements, what kind of clauses that keeps United Kingdom and United States trusting Mr. Yoweri Museveni. Pope Leo the 14th, I am submitting before the Holy See my complaints against Mr. Museveni. So the history of Mr. Museveni with Washington, D.C. and 10 Downing Street, it is really stained with blood. Whatever it is that Mr. Museveni promised 10 Downing Street and Washington, D.C., it is so great to the extent that we are demanding to know what it is exactly. We want to know exactly the government of United Kingdom and the government of United States of America. What is it that you are still funding Yoweri Museveni? That you are still funding Yoweri Museveni? African Union, our information indicates that the weapons which are massacring people in Congo, those are the weapons given to Museveni in the so-called AMISOM mission to keep peace in Somaliland. So those weapons, how do they go into Congo? How are they? Why are they in Southern Sudan? African Union, why you pretend not to know what is going on? African Union, we are asking. Pan-African Parliament, are you pretending not to hear our voices? Or you want to bring humanitarian relief when we are descending into a civil war? Are you pretending to send the news to capture ourselves when we are massacring each other in the streets? Do you think we are going to give up? We are going to be intimidated? And Museveni continue to kill us? And Museveni continue to incarcerate our brothers and sisters? That is unthinkable. On this 26th day of May, we are imploring, we are requesting a message from African Union, calling Museveni to order, calling Museveni to order. Pan-African Parliament, what are you legislating there? What are you legislating there when human rights are not on the front line? What kind of missions are you trying to achieve in unifying Africa if the abuse of human rights, it is not on the front line? What is the cause of the influx of immigrants into other African countries? What is the cause of the immigration of Africans into European Union, where we are least wanted? African Union, what are your mechanisms to address such things? For how long shall we wait that diplomatic means are coming in a gradual process? We agree on that because there is nothing that comes just like that. It is always a process of things. But for far too long, we've been waiting for African Union, for Pan-African Parliament to address our just claims, to say something about them. Not in your closed-door meetings, no. Pompeo sent a message candidly to Mr. Trump. He sent a message candidly to Mr. Trump. Why can't we hear a message from the chairman of African Union? Mr. Yusuf, why can't we hear a message from you addressing our complaints with regards to Mr. Museveni and Mr. Kagame? Why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? You are all trying to show us that white people are the ones subjugating us. Yes, we know, but they use you. They use you in offices to gag the voices, to subjugate those who spearheads to speak against the injustices. You, people in the African Union, you create an impression in the eyes of Europeans and Americans that we are destitute. We Africans, we are not destitute. We are not waiting for China to bring humanitarian relief. When Museveni is taking Uganda into a civil war before your own eyes. Do you think you can reverse us, Mr. Museveni? This extent where we are, you cannot. The only option you have, it is to relinquish power or to continue massacring us. And we know you will run out of weapons, Mr. Museveni, because we are many. Mr. Museveni, we are many. My concern here is, what is this silence from the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament is all about? What is it all about? That is my concern. What is it all about? Who is Museveni? Who is Museveni? Who cannot be held accountable? Who is Museveni? Who is he? Who is he? What is his background? Who is he? Who is Museveni? What is he? That is my question. Given the history I know about Museveni, given the history I know about Museveni, how comes that African Union does not know any history of Museveni? To put our claims into consideration is that Museveni stripped us of our citizenship of descent. That Museveni, he determines who becomes a Ugandan and who must not be a Ugandan. Which country has a national ID with an expiry date? Which country is that one? Is that a national ID? How comes that a former refugee, he is the one who determines the nationality of any other Ugandans? Is that perceptible in a civilized world? Is that perceptible, African Union, that Museveni, a former refugee, determines who gets a national ID and whose ID expires when? His nationality expires when? And he's the one who determines to renew whose and to deny who. Can you imagine? African Union, we are telling you, we are going into a protest vote, but as we speak, Museveni is bringing into people into Uganda well equipped with national IDs, with no expiry date, and with AK-47. You understand? African Union, we are saying this. You think we are mad. You think we are not people who are supposed to speak this. What is the difference between us and other people? Mr. Yusuf, what is the difference between me and you? Because of your light complexion or belonging to the Arab side? What is the difference between me and you? Because you are Mr. or because you wear ties and I wear a t-shirt? Or because you are Muslim and I'm a Catholic? That is the difference? Or because you Arab and I'm a dark-skinned man? Does that qualify me to be a deplorable product or creature? Where do you differ with the people you call that they are subjugating us? Africa should be alone. Africa should be this. Yes, we need that independence. But you are not independent in your mind. So how can you bring about that independence into the material world when you cannot be independent in the spiritual world? Mr. Yusuf, the chairman of African Union, when are you going to respond to our claims? Like Pope did towards Mr. Donald Trump? Do you wait to start issuing messages of condemning Museveni for killing people when Uganda is already descending into a civil war? Are you waiting for that? Are you waiting for that? Do you wait to give us food when we are massacring each other? Why don't you prevent that from happening? East Africa has become a country that kidnaps its own people. African Union is quiet. All civil rights movement have been silenced. We see the kidnapping of Kenyan activists, of Ugandan activists. Our own, a young lady, Atwaiwe, she is narrating an ordeal of being sodomized and raped in Tanzanians' prisons and dungeons. The same thing we are complaining against in Uganda. Now the voices have they are now in Tanzania, and we are telling you that Museveni, he is influencing all governments in East Africa and Central Africa as a whole. You are quiet. How comes that the citizens of East Africa are being kidnapped by the state which is supposed to protect them? And the African Union does not say anything. Pan-African Parliament does not say a thing. What is this compliance is all about? Is it supposed to symbolize the level of nobility? Oh, your dimension of comprehension differs too very much from that of ours, the people in the ghetto. What message are you trying to send to us? Are we deplorable before your own eyes as black people? What kind of a message are you sending? East Africans are being kidnapped. Are you trying to normalize kidnapping and abduction in Africa, in East Africa? What is it? What is this? African Union. African Union, what is this going on? What is going on? Museveni is gearing up to kidnap His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the legitimately elected president of Uganda, because he has been preparing you, African Union, Pan-African Parliament. Museveni is speaking that there is some kind of insurgents in Uganda. The insurgents on those militia groups are created by Mr. Museveni. African Union will tell you, Mr. Museveni did not own a piece of land, but as we speak, he owns all the land in the entire country. When he brings his people from Rwanda, he does not hesitate to kill the people who are found on that land to create space for his people. These are the things which are unfolding right now. Okay? We are saying we have to inform our brothers and sisters on the African continent before we engage Museveni militarily. We will reach that extent, but we don't want to go there because we are civilized people. We are civilized people, Mr. Yusuf. We are civilized people without due respect or demand. Say something against Mr. Museveni and Mr. Kagame. Those two dictators are tormenting Africans. We are not going to be quiet. No. We are not going to be quiet. Mr. Kagame, much as you protect what you have built on the expense of disintegrating Uganda, a country that offered you refugeship, Mr. Museveni, Mr. Kagame, you are the root cause of our subjugation in Uganda. Nobody else. Mr. Kagame, you own almost an entire district or a province in Uganda, and you brag about that. That is the region where you killed the people while fighting as NRA rebels. You Rwandese, fellow Africans, when you hear a group of rebels known as NRA, it is comprising of Rwandese. Those were the refugees. Now, they captured Uganda and they start splitting Uganda in two pieces. Whenever you hear them signing agreements with the United States to repatriate the rejected Africans, to bring them to Rwanda, they don't bring them to Rwanda. Rwanda is as tiny as you see it. And it does not have even a GDP that can support those people. It does not have all of those. Those people, they end up in Uganda by means of border, right? The buses, we show people things. Everything is well documented. All these buses you see, these people, they come with AK-47. They come with AK-47 and money. You understand? They are indoctrinated to massacre Ugandans as much as they can so that they can get a place to stay. We never discriminated against them. We coexisted prior to Museveni's coming into Uganda because we lived with Rwandese. We coexisted in amicable peace. But when Museveni came with his ideology of establishing a dynasty in the land which does not belong to him, this is where all started. We bring this to African Union so that you can do something. Even if you don't do something, we will take Museveni out of power. We will take Museveni out of power. We did that diplomatically as it is accepted globally, that we vote via a ballot box. We did that. We did that. African Union came out and said the election was not fair and free. And they swept that under the rug, right? For us, we said no. Our effort and our will was to usher in a leadership that adheres to the rule of law, right? Thus, we are still demanding our victory. This political activism, we were not into this. But due to the clarion call which was issued at the inception of the struggle, we engaged. Because the key code was inclusivity. So our inclusiveness and indulgence into articulating these matters of national importance have elevated our understanding, and it have rejuvenated the minds of those who had neglected that responsibility of asking question our leaders. Anybody who serves in any elective position is accountable, and that individual is bound to scrutiny. You understand? So by scrutinizing our leaders, we've come to understand that Mr. Museveni had created a boundary between Uganda and the rest of Africa, whereby our aspirations were not known to the rest of Africa, but only Museveni's interests were known to the Africans. What are those interests? They say that they are pan-Africanists. Okay? They say they are pan-Africanists. How can you be a pan-African when you are killing your fellow Africans? There is no pan-Africanism into that concept. There is nothing of that nature. We are saying these are people who are driving their own goals. People whose interests are about disintegrating Africa to create a fiefdom of theirs so that they determine all the decisions on the continent of Africa. This is their ideology. So, Mr. Yusuf, the chairperson of African Union, we are asking you to hold Museveni accountable. Hold Museveni accountable. Museveni must be held accountable. Museveni has disintegrated Uganda. Museveni has not built even a single hospital ever since he captured power. Museveni have disintegrated each and everything. All the hospitals which were built by Idi Amin Dada and Obote and Sakabaka Mutesa respectively, they are all dilapidating. When you look at its infrastructure, you can see that really black people are stupid. But we are not stupid. It is a group of people with some intentions which we don't understand. Which we don't understand. Why Museveni does not build hospitals? Why Museveni does not build public schools? Why Museveni does not construct roads? That is the responsibility of a state. That is the sign of leadership. How comes that you cannot, facilitate health, you cannot put health facilities in place for your people you claim to be leading? What kind of leadership is that? Okay, if you have failed to put up new ones, then maintain the old ones. The one you found in the place. The one you found in place. How comes you fail even to maintain those? And when we complain and you say that we're talking too much, no, we are not. We have not talked. We haven't talked. We haven't. We are yet to talk enough. Mr. Museveni, you are going to kill every single one of us. Other than that, we need our country back. Mr. Museveni, we have seen how things work. And it doesn't need any mathematical equations. It needs only rationality of the mind. Rationality of the mind. Mr. Museveni, we are saving you from the demons that are tormenting you. Mr. Museveni, you have that internal, ethnicity inferiority. That is what is tormenting you. You feel like we were like poor people. Yes, you were poor. That is not our crime. Mr. Museveni, that is your lineage. You are poor in mind. That is why you are still poor. Even if you have been with the coffers of Uganda for the past 40 years. But you are still poor because your minds are being tormented with that inferiority. You feel like I have to kill Buganda. I have to kill Buganda. I have to destroy Buganda kingdom in order to sound, relevant to Ugandans. Do you know Buganda? Do you know why Uganda is called Uganda? Mr. Museveni, I'm sure you know. Mr. Museveni, leave Buganda alone. You will never do anything to Buganda because you found it there. Mr. Museveni, joking with Buganda, you are joking with the entire Buganda. The translation of the name means the cluster of tribes that came together and created a nation. Are you able to fight a nation, Mr. Museveni? You, a man who does not have a background in Uganda, can you fight a nation in Buganda? Can you fight a nation in Buganda? A nation that even gave you a name, a nation that even embraced you to an extent that you were given a totem. You were given a totem. You poor Rwandi, Mr. Museveni. You are so poor-minded, old man. You are so poor-minded. You don't even learn. That's why Kyagulanyi Ssentamu said, history teaches, but wicked people fail to learn from history. Mr. Museveni, you would have learned the end result of each and everything. There is no such a thing as rising and rising and rising. Everything rise and fall. That is the phenomena of all life. That is the phenomena of all life. There is no rising all the time. How? Where? Where have you seen that, Mr. Museveni, in your old age? Where have you seen that? You thought you could silence us? No. Mr. Museveni, that is impossible. If you managed to scare our elders and they gave in, for us, we are not giving in and we are to battle you up until you are out of power. Mr. Museveni, you are remaining with only months. You are remaining with only months. Mr. Museveni, you are trying to kill the people by saying that there are some militants in Uganda. Global citizens, we don't have any insurgents against Mr. Museveni. Our demanding of just leadership, it is in the broad daylight. We do everything in the broad daylight. We are not concealing our activities of removing Mr. Museveni. We are removing Mr. Museveni in the broad daylight. Mr. Museveni, we are removing you in the broad daylight. You are choosing the ambassador of Germany in Uganda to be in connivance with terrorists and militias. There is no such a thing, Mr. Museveni. Mr. Museveni, your fellow old man is cancer-stricken the old man, Sam Kahamba Kutesa, with whom you have been plundering Uganda, was of recent in Germany, receiving treatment of cancer. Sijui chemotherapy, whatever that thing is. He was there in Germany for 6 months, right? For 6 months in Germany. Why wasn't he discriminated against? a man with whom you destabilized Uganda, a man with whom you stole Entebbe International Airport. It belongs to Sam Kahamba Kutesa, was recently in Germany being treated of cancer. Now you are choosing the ambassador of Germany in Uganda to be in connivance and facilitating militia groups. Since when? Where? The ambassador of Germany was asking Salimu Saleh that you are crossing a red tape, that our supporting and partnership with Uganda has a lot to do with the protection of human rights. That is their obligation. Their funding of Uganda activities has a lot to do with the stability of the community. Now you are choosing the German ambassador in Uganda to be in connivance with terrorists. There is no terrorist in Uganda. Museveni, you are number one terrorist. Sam Kahamba Kutesa, you are the terrorists. Mr. Mama Mbabas, you are a terrorist. Mr. Naduli, you are a terrorist. Kahinda Otafire, you are a terrorist. Jim Muwez, you are a terrorist. David Muwez, you are a terrorist. Kale Kaihura, you are a terrorist. Abel Kandiho, you are a terrorist. Christopher Damulira, you are a terrorist, terrorizing Ugandans, the people you are supposed to protect. Mr. Christopher Damulira, the chief of Eternal Security Organization. Emi Katabaz, the chief of External Security Organization, External Intelligence Organization of Uganda, ISO. ISO, internal, yes, Emi Katabaz. ESO, external, yes, that is Emi Katabaz. Internal, that is James Birungi. And CMY, that is all of you guys in the Museveni's security forces, not security forces, in the Museveni's militia forces. You are all terrorists. It is you who is tormenting the people of East Africa. We are not going to be quiet. Please, Vatican City, we need your intervention in this. African Union, we need your immediate intervention into the conundrum of dictator Museveni. Pan-African Parliament, we are requesting for your intervention into the conundrum and the predicament created by Mr. Museveni in Uganda. Uganda is not an island. The people of Africa do not buy into Museveni's narrative that the European Union are funding militia groups in Uganda. No, European Unions questioned Mr. Museveni, the gross human rights violation in Uganda. That is why they stormed and say that the German ambassador, he is funding the downfall of Mr. Museveni's regime. Uganda is a signatory to all those bodies that are seeing the well-being of humanity. Meaning that it cannot be isolated. It cannot be isolated. And those representatives of those countries, respectively, are watching what is going on. They do have their interests in Uganda, but they are entitled to see the well-being of the people with whom they live. So, African Union, Pan-African Parliament, lend a helping voice to the people of Uganda. Candidly, we want the message to sound exactly like that of Pope Leo XIV, which was delivered, to go straight to P.O. Box 1, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. The message of Pope was candid. We are waiting such a message from Pope going to Museveni directly, P.O. Box 1, Entebbe. He is seated in the presidence which does not belong to him. The legitimately elected president of the Republic of Uganda is none other than His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Global citizens, we submit before you. We are determined to remove Dictator Yoweri Museveni. What we need, European Union, stop funding our subjugation. Mr. Donald Trump's administration, stop funding the dictator. 10 Downing Street, United Kingdom government, stop funding our subjugation. United Kingdom government, stop funding the subjugation of the people of the Republic of Uganda. We are not a threat to your interests in Uganda. Stop funding Dictator Yoweri Museveni. 10 Downing Street, Britain, stop funding Dictator Yoweri Museveni. May our just claims be put into consideration. I beg to submit.